Hey, what is up everyone, and welcome back to another video. Today we're taking a look at Ethereum, which is currently sitting at under $1,600. Now, we're going to be jumping into exactly where Ethereum could be going over the next few days, as well as a few other coins. But before we do so, make sure you guys go check out the Discord down below. I'll leave a link to it in the description. First link there. You can see on the screen right now just how many trades our members have been winning from simply joining up and starting to copy and paste the trades that we're sending out to them every single day. It's been absolutely insane. We've had over an 85% win rate, and the trades keep getting better and bigger. You can see on the screen right now. I mean, the gains speak for themselves. So yeah, make sure you join up. First link in the description. Now back to the main video. So Ethereum's volume has obviously died down significantly over the weekend and overall over the past few days. It is a big weekend, you know, from Friday to Monday. It's practically the weekend. We have Good Friday and then Monday as well. So yeah, volume's going to be down today, and overall the market's barely moving. Not many people are trading. So yeah, you know, for today there's not much going to be going on, and the same for Saturday and Sunday, and probably also Monday. However, over the past week or so, it has found some support and started to consolidate right around the support area at 1.5 1.6k. We did dip to under 1.4, which again for Ethereum is extremely undervalued. Like, this is an immensely great buying dip. You know, accumulations here easy 2x, 2.6x to be exact, back to the main highs here at like 4k, and not even the all-time high, which is at 4.8k. so there's still a lot of potential for ETH, and buys here are really good. It's extremely, you know, worrying comparing it to Bitcoin though, as Bitcoin has been outperforming it so significantly. We'd never really see ETH crash, you know, what was this, over 50%, and Bitcoin only crash, you know, 20-30%. It's usually quite similar. Like when we saw the bear market and Bitcoin crash from 70 to 15, you know, we saw ETH do a similar move from 4.8k to $800, and when they both crash relatively similar in comparison. You know, it might be 20 to 50% more. Now it's been significantly more. So yeah, it might just be the way that it looks, you know, at a pricing sort of scale, but overall it's still an immense dip. Now let's quickly take a look at the heat map, which again indicates a lot of the time where we could be going. The way these heat maps work is the more yellow there is, the more liquidations are. As you can see here on the scale, the highest amount is $36.75 million worth of liquidations at the yellowest points, and we have 1 and 2 of those areas that have been developing for quite a while now, ever since, you know, these lows on the 48-hour time frame on the Binance exchange. So overall it looks like Ethereum could dip down a lot lower to 1530-ish, maybe just slightly higher, like 1533, 1535, which would be like a $60 dip down here. So, you know, you do a 10 ETH short, that's gonna be like $600 profit, which is what we might be looking to do on the lower time frame. But again, on these weekends when there's very low volatility and low volume overall, it's quite hard to find those trades. You know, that's gonna be a $60 deficit, which is gonna be only down to like these lows, which isn't that big, to be honest. We usually try and go for larger swing trades with the occasional day trade, but even then, when we do see an occasional day trade, it will usually be like a short or long before a huge move down like this, or a huge move up in comparison to that as well. We never really want to do, you know, very small scalps like that, simply because it just adds more risk, and that's not what we want to do. So yeah, you know, whether you want to short, that's up to you. Again, if you're gonna short or long or even buy or sell cryptocurrency, then check out all the exchanges we're working with down below. When you use my links to sign up, you'll get some lower fees and some nice sign up bonuses as well. So yeah, it's a win-win situation. Make sure you do that if you're going to be trading. But no, overall Bitcoin as well, moving the exact same, very little. You know, we talked about where it could be going in a few videos prior to this, and what we basically said was it's most likely just going to consolidate around here. It might just continue going down because the market sentiment hasn't really changed. We are still in a trade war, tariff war with China, the US. You know, the Fed are still probably quite hesitant to cut rates, from what we've been seeing in the media. Trump really wants to, you know, remove Jerome Powell as the chairman, although it's not possible, but it is possible to completely eliminate the Fed, which is another alternative, although be it is a major alternative. So, you know, it's gonna be quite difficult, but what we're really waiting for is May rate cuts next month in like 30 days, so 4 weeks. Then we have another FOMC meeting in June and July, and if we're able to get rate cuts again, market will continue going up. But without those rate cuts, it's going to be very difficult, because essentially Trump's plan seems to be that, you know, he's going into a few trade wars, mainly with China, not only to increase revenue but also to get those lower interest rates. And if we're not able to get those lower interest rates, that most of those tariffs will have gone to a negative cause, you know, major inflation on a lot of devices and a few goods as well. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. Hopefully we are able to get them though, and obviously the market will recover very, very well. And that's why we're accumulating. You know, although we are also betting on the fact that everything will sort itself out, it usually does. If we compare to the S&P, for example, we're at a major crash right now, one of the biggest we've seen since, you know, 2020, and probably since when else, you know, what was this, 2018 to 19, also 2008 to, you know, 9, although that was a much bigger crash, lasted a lot longer, was a much larger fall as well, went all the way from, you know, the highs of October, then went another year, and from September fell down to February. So albeit it's not quite at the same scale, it's much faster. Every single time prior we've recovered very well. So yeah, I think you'll see the recovery similar to how we saw in 2020. Yeah, we dipped down significantly but instantly came back up, saw another dip after a crash, you know, from the huge run up. I think it's going to be quite similar. Like, we usually get these rapid crashes followed by a huge bullish period, followed by a much slower, much longer crash that sort of extends, and we get a final leg, small move back down, you know, huge leg up, rapid leg down, bullish market, and it sort of just looks like it continues like that all the time. So I think history will repeat itself. It's not like the S&P will go down under normal crypto, you know, compare it to the 20 bull run. It's quite similar to this in regards to, we get the initial leg after halving, after some good news, we top out quite close to the all-time high, then we dump down, again this was a new all-time high created, but then we dump down after we get some negative news, we consolidate at like 50% below the lows of the high, consolidate, get some good news, start pumping up, get some more major good news, pump up even higher, break the all-time high ever so slightly, and then we, you know, go back into a bear market. It looks very similar to now. You know, we got a huge leg up after some great news, after the halving. Now we got that leg down, roughly 30 to 40% of the all-time high was given back, found some support. Now we're starting to consolidate, just waiting for that good news. Once we get it, we'll probably pump through, break the all-time high, maybe hit 114, 116, somewhere around here. It's my best guess. You know, the absolute bullish scenario would be 138, 140, somewhere around here, but I think 115, 116 is a good alternative as well, and that's where we should top out, hopefully, on this second leg of the run. Now if you did enjoy the video and you did find it helpful, please do make sure to like and subscribe, as it does help out a ton. And if you need a place to buy, sell, or trade cryptocurrency, then check out all the exchanges down below. But if you want to be copying my trades, then check out the Discord down below, which is the first link in the description. Super easy to join, super easy to follow along. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all tomorrow. Goodbye, guys.